I'm good. Thanks. All right, let's get started. I know it's a little cool out here, um, but I want to just start off by just thanking a number of people first and foremost. This is the 11th annual uh, Mayor's Back to School Supply Drive Initiative Fest. And even with the pandemic, we've never stopped. It's been reimagined. And so instead of it, for example, being at the University of Houston on the campus, you know, we are now at NRG in the yellow lot, parking lot, but we're making it work. And so for those who are listening and looking at us on FaceTime, is it FaceTime, Facebook? Okay, you know what I mean. Uh, just know that we'll be here until 2, 3 o'clock, as long as the supplies and the food and everything is available. So please take advantage. So I want to thank Shell again for being the underwriter for 11 consecutive years. Can't thank Shell, the employees. They provide help provide the supplies and the volunteers. So they've been very, very gracious. I certainly want to thank KHOU for trucking these backpacks, 25,000. I want to thank them. I want to thank Brian Greene with the Houston Food Bank. Give it up to the food bank. They're partnering with us today. So in addition, we're meeting the needs of 25,000 elementary kids from K through the 5th grade, 25,000 with the supplies. And then at the same time, the Houston Food Bank is providing boxes of food for families who are in need. So I want to thank them. I want to thank the University of Houston. They've just been a consistent sponsor with us. Please give it up to the University of Houston. Thank you, Dr. Couture. I'm a little bit biased because, I am a Cougar, so, I'm very proud. But I want to thank them. University of Houston believes in our kids, and they believe in community. So thank you, Dr. Couture, for what you continue to do. And this year, we are partnering with HISD, the Houston Independent School District, and the Superintendent House has just been already invaluable to this community. So thank you. Thank you, Superintendent House, and you'll hear from him shortly. And then our partnership on the federal level is just without words. It's just been phenomenal, but it's because we have some phenomenal leaders working on our behalf in D.C. Please give it up again to Congressman Al Green of the 9th Congressional District. And then I will be remiss not to thank my own employees, the city's employees. Special events is just amazing. We said 11 consecutive years, but quite frankly, ever since this event started, Mayor's Back to School Supplies special event has been the conductor, the producer. So Susan, thank you, and your entire team, all of City of Houston employees. Because we're in a pandemic, the Health Equity Response Team with the City of Houston focusing on communities that have been underserved has just been invaluable. Janice Weaver, want to thank all of those who are affiliated with our Health Equity Response Team, city employees, give it up to them, Complete Communities, and so many others. Now let me just say this. Someone asked me, why is this so important? Today's event the focus is on our children. It's on our children, and especially those in that K through the 5th grade. And we want to do everything that we can to give them what they need at the beginning of the school year so that they can have a very successful school year. And the focus this year is to do everything we can to make sure there's in-person learning. We saw the impact of kids having to learn virtually. Many of our kids have fallen behind because of that. This year, we want to do everything we can to make it possible for them to learn in person in their classroom. And so we want to equip them with the tools that they need in order to make that happen. This year, we kind of beefed up things, added some additional things, thanks to special event and our sponsors in these backpacks to give them a little bit more. We said we wanted to show them just a little bit more love this school year. And so that's why this year, it is the back to school supplies, plus we added some things the food for their families, the masks. And let me just say, we are continuing Super Saturday vaccination. So at the same place, one-stop shop, you can get if you're 12 years and up, you can get vaccinated right here at NRG in the yellow lot. So let me encourage you. You may not need the back to school supplies, but if you haven't been vaccinated, if you are a teacher, a bus driver, a janitor, a cafeteria worker, just a parent, you can get those vaccines, and let me encourage you to do that. So all of those things are wrapped up at this particular site. We want to make it easy, accessible, and you don't have to pay for anything today. Everything is being donated to these families because of the generosity of Shell and so many others. So please take advantage. Let me say to you that this week in our local hospitals, they admitted the number was 393. What is the significance of that? That's the 4th largest number of hospital admissions due to COVID since the pandemic began. 393 in admissions in a single day. The number of those in our hospitals, that number is right around 2,300 because of COVID. What does that mean? You know, a little over 3 weeks ago, you know, we had about a little over 500 in the hospital because of COVID. You know, today that number is about 2,300. That is a dramatic increase. And you know what else? All of this is pretty much preventable. You know, you don't have to get sick because of COVID. You don't have to end up in a hospital. And you don't have to die. Okay? You really don't. And really the only thing you need to listen to are the medical professionals, you know, and the science, and adhere to the CDC guidelines. But you don't have to get sick, you don't have to end up in a hospital, and you don't have to die. And in order to prevent that from occurring, what you must do is get the vaccine if you're eligible. And then on top of that, if you wear these masks. And look, they are not, sometimes these masks are not comfortable. Certainly they're not comfortable in the heat. You know, in my case, they can take away from your good looks, you know. Yeah. Did I say that? Did I say that? Okay, I meant it. But you do what's important to keep yourself safe. And my primary focus, like the superintendent, like the chancellor, president of University of Houston, like the congressman, like so many others, is to protect the health and safety of people as much as possible. So I'm very proud of what's taking place today. I'm going to stop because I first want to bring our sponsor, underwriter for today, and that's from Shell. Let me bring up Christina Jones, Vice President of HR Diversity and Inclusion and Employee Relations from Shell Oil Company. Christina. Oh, I'm sorry. I want to keep my job. Let me acknowledge these council members. Look, Councilmember David Robinson, Councilmember Carla Cisneros. You know, I really want to thank them. William Paul, the liaison. But I want to thank these council members because, quite frankly, it has been a team effort, and they have been incredible. So thank you all so very, very, very much. Now, Christina, I'm sorry.
I'll help you smooth it over. It interrupts their good looks as well. All right. Thank you, Mayor Turner. Shell's honored to serve as the founding presenting sponsor of our 11th annual Mayor's Back to School Fest. Through our 11-year partnership, we've supported a variety of the educational programs that help our students prepare for academic success. These continuing efforts are indeed critical for the talent pipeline, but also to sustain and grow the economic vitality of this community that we all call home. As the energy needs of the world changes, so do the demands for more innovative solutions. It's our goal with Shell's investment in this generation's academic success that students will be inspired and ready to tackle these challenges with new and creative vigor necessary to meet the demands of supplying energy to more people while protecting our environment. This has indeed been an unprecedented year, as the mayor said, and educators are one group of resilient heroes that have inspired us throughout their dedication and innovative support. So I'd like to thank them today and all those that support them to make it happen to meet the needs of our students and our families. In closing, I want to thank the mayor for his leadership and his team at the city for dedicating so much time and effort to inspire those in the next generation of Houston's innovators and leaders. And I'd like to thank all of our volunteers. We have had so many help us pack the bags back in July. We've been out here since 6:30 this morning loading cars, and we couldn't do it without their strong support and dedication, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina. And look, you can have the supplies, but if you're hungry, you still can't learn. So let me bring up Brian Greene, President and CEO of the Houston Food Bank. Brian.
Thank you. And I just want to know that how many times I have seen the mayor, members of council, congressmen out here, you know, helping the neighbors Saturday after Saturday at doing distribution work. You know, this is, it's not just today. It's not just this event. But Houston shows again how much it cares and how much we want to support everybody. You know, I personally, I hope everybody else, I am worried about how this pandemic, the consequences long term for our school kids. I mean, it has really made it hard for these kids to succeed in school. So anything that we can be doing, this Back to School Fest, is make sure that these kids as well as possible are set up for a successful school year. It's a big deal. And Houston Food Bank, we are really proud to support this, and we're so pleased with the partnership we have with the City of Houston, with HISD. You know, how is it that we can support making a great city? So thank you all very much.
All right, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. JETCO has been with us transporting these backpacks and others for years and years and years. And now let me bring on Catherine Moon, Vice President of Marketing and Communication, JETCO Delivery.
Thank you. On behalf of JETCO's professional drivers and our operations teams and employees, I'd like to thank the Mayor's office and fellow sponsors for including us once again in this event. We've helped organize the transportation and logistics for the Mayor's Back to School Fest since 2015, and it's one of our team's favorite events of the year to participate in. We have our drivers volunteer themselves to transport the backpacks from the Houston Food Bank here every year. This year, we're pleased to donate our drivers' time along with trucks and 10 trailers to help transport supplies. As heavily engaged members of the greater Houston community, we're thrilled to be able to help elementary school students and their families have a safe, successful school year through the delivery of these supplies. At JETCO, safety is our #1 non-negotiable core value. It's a great opportunity to support the Houston community again. And thanks again for allowing us to participate in this wonderful program, and we hope children have a great school year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then, of course, you know, any successful event has to have just a very an incredible college or university joining with us. We happen to have a Tier 1 institution and a school that bears Houston's name. So I'm very proud. I've had the privilege of working with Dr. Couture for over the last 10 plus years. And for all of you know, she has taken that institution from what I call, well, it used to be called Cougar High, but Cougar High no more. It is just a first-class, first-tier university. So let me bring up the president of University of Houston, President Couture.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. University of Houston, of course, is proud of many things, but we are very proud to have our mayor here. You can see the vision of mayor here, 11 years of this very important festival, and we have been a participant of this. You know, during this global pandemic, things are really quite challenging, and they have been challenging. However, some things don't stop. One of them is learning. Our children have to learn. Our children have to really get ahead because they are members of this global world, and they have to be competitive. They have to make sure that they can be leaders. So here we are all together, and one thing we know is that it takes a village to educate a child. And today you can see a glimpse of the village. We have so many sponsors here, so many participants, and behind us are so many volunteers here making this possible. We're glad that we could be part of it because all of these kids who are receiving their bags today, they can dream of being Cougars one day, coming to the University of Houston, graduating and leading this city. So go Cougs.
I like that. I'm gonna use that. Okay, and then HISD, the Houston Independent School District, is the largest school district in the state of Texas, and I'm just pleased with the leadership that they have at HISD, insightful, visionary, and bold. And so it's my pleasure. Let me bring up the superintendent of the Houston Independent School District, Dr. Millard House.
Thank you, Mayor, and I'm extremely excited to be here this morning, joining so many of my colleagues to ensure that our families understand that we will be moving forward with our back-to-school plans. As Mayor indicated, my name is Millard House, and I am the superintendent of HISD. He indicated as well, we are proud to be the largest school district in the state of Texas with 196,000 students. In HISD, our first day of school is around the corner, as you all know. And when I say around the corner, it is literally around the corner. We're welcoming back our students on August the 23rd. And I want to reiterate that because it's extremely important to prepare from a vaccination standpoint, from a supply standpoint, for everything that we need to ensure that our students have a safe and orderly start. As I've continuously echoed and indicated, the health and safety of our students and staff continues to be the guiding compass to everything that we do. Just yesterday, we released our up-to-date, ready, set, go back to school plan. And I shared the details with our community and staff in reference to what the return will look like. The plan outlines our efforts to ensure that we have safety measures in place at every one of our campuses, each one of our classrooms and facilities. Even our buses, we're focusing our efforts around safety as well. We will be requiring the use of masks, as you may know, for all individuals in our sites and facilities. It is important that you move forward, if you have not done so already, and be vaccinated. We encourage our families to carefully review the plan and ensure that you know about any update changes as they come about. We also continue to partner with the health and community officials to offer vaccinations as it happens here today, because we know that they are the first line of defense. Let's continue to work together, and let's get ready for a great start to our school year. Thank you.
Thanks. Let me thank you, Dr. House. And I did take note you're wearing the right colors for the universities. You know, those are University of Houston colors. So, you know, but let me just say this. The resources that we have on the city level, county level, for schools, secondary schools, schools for higher ed, much, if not a great deal of those dollars and resources flow from the federal level. And so we are very proud of the collaboration, the partnership that we have on the federal level. A lot of what we do, we would not be able to do on behalf of our kids and the people in our city without that federal support. So let me now bring up Congressman Al Green, and I certainly want to thank him and others for their leadership in this area. Congressman Al Green.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I am honored to be here because the mayor is an excellent steward of the public trust. The dollars that we send, we know that they're going to go into the hands of the people and that they're going to be used efficaciously. So I'm proud to be a part of this event that you have sponsored, Mayor. And I ask that we all give the mayor one more expression of appreciation for what he's doing to make children have a good first day at school. I have a backpack, and I like it so much I want to take it home to be but I'm going to let the child have it. This is a good thing. I also want to make one comment, Mayor. You remember when we were with Dr. Peirce, and he indicated that it's more than likely that we will all come into contact with COVID-19. If we know that we are likely to come into contact with it, the question becomes, do we want to be vaccinated when we come into contact with it? Do we want to make sure that we will have a minimal amount of adverse impact? If this is the case, then we have to be vaccinated. So, Mayor, thank you for having the opportunity for people to not only get the school supplies, but to also get vaccinated today. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. I want to thank the Houston Food Bank, as you have, Mayor. They have worked closely with you and with us. And finally, I would like to just say that I'd like to give certificates as customarily we do when it's in our congressional district. This is the 9th Congressional District. I'm not going to hand them out to all of the folk that are here right now, but I do want to let you know, Mayor, that the first one on here is for the city of Houston, and probably you're a pretty good representative to get the first one. So, Mayor, my honor to present this certificate of congressional recognition to you and the council members who are here, Councilmember Robinson, Councilmember Cisneros. Want to thank all of you. And Mayor, honestly, you have been a great mayor and continue to be a great mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congressman.
You got it, Julia?
All right. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And in wrapping up, and I know, Susan, I know we're going to have some photos. But let me just say, we do what we do because we love the people in our city, and especially because we love our kids. That is what we do. Someone asked the question, why sometimes do you take some actions that may at times conflict with some other orders? And the answer is very simple for me. It's because we love the people in our city. And anybody that loves their children are not going to put their children in harm's way. You're not going to do it. If I know something will hurt, for example, my daughter, based on the science, based on the medical professional advice, if I know something will hurt my daughter, I don't care what anybody tells me not to do, I am going to do it. That's my child, that's my daughter, and I have a responsibility to protect my child. And the same thing with respect to children across this city. If I know that if science is telling me one thing and the medical professions are backing that up, I'm going to do what I have to do to protect our children. Same thing for city employees. If I know the right thing to do, my hope and my prayer is that the voices of many others that know what's right will stand up and sound off and really just be responsible. That's the only thing that I ask. But we do what we do. Today, in this heat, okay? And let me tell you, it is hot. But in this heat, all of us are here, not because of any party deal, a party affiliation. We're here because we love these kids. And so that's one thing. And now, what's that?
10 plus schools participating.
And then Super Saturday, we're working with 10 area school districts, the health department of Harris County and the city of Houston. That's enough from me. Susan, what are we doing? We're taking a picture right quick, and then we're going to get back. Okay. And let me thank the League of Women Voters. League of Women Voters, why are you back there? You're supposed to be in the picture, you know. So don't forget, get yourself registered, and don't forget to vote, So the League of Women Voters want to thank them. They have always been on the front line of making sure people participate. Okay, that's done. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all.
Good job, Mayor.
Thank you, Congressman. Thank you.
You really have done a great job.
Man.